You know, it seems like every time you turn around, there's a new bug going around.
Oh, yeah.
So today we're diving into how to naturally boost your immune system.
Okay.
We found this really insightful article, and, well, let's be real, we could all use a little extra help these days, right?
Absolutely.
Yeah.
What I think is really cool about this article is that it goes way beyond just the eat your vegetables advice.
Okay.
It actually breaks down like the different ways that the stuff we do every day can like impact our immune system on like a cellular level, which I think is really neat.
I like that. So the article starts off talking about food.
Yeah.
But it's not just about eating healthy in general.
Yeah.
It's really emphasizing eating a nutrient-rich diet
Yeah.
if you want to have a strong immune system.
Yeah, and it actually like gets into the specifics of how certain nutrients impact your immune function.
Okay.
Like we all know vitamin C is good for us.
Mm-hmm.
But this article actually talks about how it boosts white blood cell production.
Right.
And those are your frontline defense.
Those are the ones fighting for us.
That's
So
right.
we shouldn't be grabbing just any fruit.
Yeah.
It's about choosing citrus fruits and leafy greens and berries,
Exactly.
which this article says are like packed with those immune-boosting vitamins.
Right. And then it gets even more interesting because it talks about stuff like garlic and ginger,
Oh, yeah.
not just for flavor, but they've got like anti-inflammatory and antimicrobial properties.
It's like having a little army in your kitchen
Exactly.
fighting for you. I've always been curious about the connection between gut health and immunity.
Yeah,
Does the article talk about that at all?
it does.
Right.
It kind of goes a little deeper into it and explains that a healthy gut microbiome is like really important for your overall immune function. It's not just about taking probiotics.
Right.
It's also about getting those probiotic-rich foods like yogurt and kimchi.
So you're actually nourishing the good bacteria in your gut.
Yeah, and actually, did you know that different types of bacteria have different roles?
Oh, wow.
So like each one has its own job to do.
Oh, that's cool.
Yeah, it helps break down your food or produces vitamins.
Oh, wow.
It even interacts with your immune cells.
It's like a whole world in there.
It really is.
That's wild. It makes you realize that everything is connected. You know?
It really does. It's like a whole system.
So we've talked about how to fuel our immune system.
Right.
How do we keep it running smoothly?
Well, the article mentions hydration.
Uh-huh.
I'll be honest, I totally forget about this all the time.
I do too.
Like, I know you're supposed to drink water, but like, how does it actually impact your immune system?
Right.
So think about water. It's like it's your internal cleaning system.
Okay.
It helps flush out toxins, and it keeps your lymphatic system running, which is super important because that transports all your important immune cells.
So it's not just about quenching your thirst.
No.
It's actually keeping everything flowing the way it should.
Exactly.
The article says you should be aiming for like 8 glasses a day.
Mm-hmm.
But is all liquid created equal?
Well, that's a good question.
Mm.
Water's the best, obviously.
Right.
But like herbal teas, or you can like infuse your water with fruit,
Mm-hmm.
that all counts toward your hydration goals, and it can actually give you some extra antioxidants too.
So you're adding a little flavor to your hydration routine.
Exactly.
I like that. Speaking of routines, the article also talks about sleep.
Yeah,
Again, something we all know is good for us.
right.
But how does it actually like recharge your immune system?
So when you sleep, your body goes into repair and regeneration mode.
Mm.
And this is when your immune system gets a chance to actually rest and recover
Okay.
and actually like build up its defenses.
So if we're constantly running on empty,
Yeah,
our immune system can't actually rest and do what it needs to do.
exactly. And this article talks about the different ways that lack of sleep affects your immune function.
Okay.
Like, for example, if you don't get enough sleep, it can mess with your cytokine production.
What's that?
So cytokines are these signaling molecules that help regulate your immune response.
Oh, okay.
So you're actually making yourself more vulnerable to those germs, not just
Wow.
tired.
It's not just in your head, it's actually a real physical thing.
Right.
The article says you should be getting between 7 and 9 hours of quality sleep a night.
Hmm.
But what does quality sleep actually mean?
So that's where it gets really interesting.
Okay.
It's not just about the number of hours you're getting.
Right.
It's also about how deep your sleep is and how consistent it is.
Okay.
So things like going to bed and waking up at the same time every day can actually help. Or creating like a little bedtime routine, like maybe taking a bath or reading a book
Mm-hmm.
and avoiding screens before bed.
Oh, I know that's a hard one.
Yeah.
Especially these days.
Yeah, caffeine can mess with your sleep too.
So scrolling late at night is actually probably hurting more than helping.
Yeah,
I know if I don't get enough sleep, I feel it like right away.
right.
Yeah.
You might not see it in your immune system, but it's definitely taking a toll.
Okay, so we fueled up with good foods.
Mm,
We're staying hydrated and getting enough sleep.
right.
Now, what about staying active? Does that impact immunity?
Absolutely. So think about moderate exercise as like giving your immune cells a little boost of energy.
Okay.
It improves your circulation and helps them move around your body better.
So it's like sending your immune cells out for a jog,
Exactly.
making sure they're ready to go. I've heard that overdoing it can actually be bad for your immune system.
Yeah,
Is that true?
it's true.
Okay.
So moderate exercise is great.
Uh-huh.
But if you overdo it, you can actually suppress your immune system. It's all about balance.
That seems to be a theme here.
Like everything.
I
Just got to find that sweet spot and listen to your body.
Speaking of balance, let's talk about stress.
Okay.
I know that chronic stress is not good for us.
Yeah.
But how does it actually impact our immune system?
So chronic stress releases this hormone called cortisol,
Okay.
and cortisol can actually suppress your immune cells.
Oh, no.
It's like putting a tamper on your body's natural defenses.
Wow.
So it's not just about feeling frazzled.
Right.
You're actually making yourself vulnerable.
Yeah. So the article says that we should be incorporating stress-reducing practices into our routine.
Right.
But isn't some stress good for you?
Yeah, that's a good point.
How do we find that balance?
So not all stress is bad.
Okay.
Short-term stress can actually help your immune system.
Really?
Yeah, like give it a quick boost.
Hmm.
But it's the chronic ongoing stress that you got to watch out for.
Okay.
So things like meditation and deep breathing
Mm-hmm.
can be really helpful for like calming your mind and lowering those stress hormones.
And I gotta say, there's nothing quite like being outside,
Yeah.
like just spending time in nature. The article says that it can actually do wonders for lowering cortisol and just boosting your mood in general.
Absolutely. And you know what's cool?
What?
It doesn't have to be like a crazy hike or anything.
Right, right.
Just a walk in the park or sitting under a tree for a few minutes can help.
That's great.
Yeah, and it's not just about the fresh air.
Okay.
There's actually evidence that suggests that being exposed to different microorganisms in nature,
Okay.
like the bacteria in the soil and stuff,
Mhm.
can actually train your immune system to be more effective.
Wow.
Yeah, so you're getting a double dose of benefits.
I love that.
Yeah.
Stress reduction and immune system training. Okay, so we're eating well.
Yeah.
We're exercising. We're getting enough sleep.
Right.
But what if we're doing all that and still feeling like we need an extra boost? Is that where supplements come in?
That's right.
Okay.
So this article really emphasizes that whole foods are the best source of nutrients.
Yeah.
But it does say that supplements can be really helpful if you're not getting everything you need from your diet.
Okay.
So think of them kind of like an insurance policy,
Right.
just in case.
So let's talk about specific supplements.
Yeah.
The article mentions a few,
Mm-hmm.
starting with vitamin C.
Mm-hmm.
Okay.
Vitamin D,
Okay.
which is really important for regulating those immune responses.
Okay.
And zinc, which helps with immune cell development.
Okay.
And it even mentions elderberry.
Oh, really?
Yeah, it's traditionally been used for its antiviral properties.
Wow. That's a lot of options.
It is.
Should we consult with a doctor before we start taking all these things?
Oh, absolutely.
Okay.
Supplements can be really helpful, but it's always a good idea to talk to your doctor,
Right.
especially if you're on any medication.
Yeah.
Make sure nothing interacts.
Safety first. So we've talked about all the positive steps.
Yeah,
Now, are there things that we should avoid
definitely.
that can weaken our defenses?
This article is really clear about the negative impacts of smoking and excessive alcohol consumption.
Right.
They both suppress your immune response
Okay.
and make you more susceptible to infections.
I think we all know that those are not good for us. Are there any like less obvious things that we should be mindful of?
One thing that people don't always think about is the connection between obesity and impaired immune function.
Hmm.
So if you're carrying excess weight, it can lead to chronic inflammation,
Okay.
and that puts a lot of stress on your immune system
Right.
and makes it harder to fight off those pathogens.
So maintaining a healthy weight
Yes,
through a balanced diet and regular exercise is important.
exactly. It all ties back to those basic habits we were talking about earlier.
It's like a full circle.
Yeah, it all works together.
And let's not forget about the basics.
Right.
Good hygiene.
Yeah, the article reminds us to wash our hands regularly,
Mm-hmm.
avoid touching your face,
Right.
and keep our surroundings clean.
Those things are so important.
It's so basic, but it makes a big difference.
Yeah, it's all about preventing those germs from spreading and giving our immune systems a break.
Exactly.
You know what I thought was really fascinating in this article is the link between social connections
Oh, yeah.
and having a stronger immune system.
Yeah, isn't that wild?
It is.
Like, studies show that people who have strong social ties and a positive mindset tend to have stronger immune systems.
It's like feeling connected can
Yeah,
actually boost your physical resilience. It
exactly.
really makes you wonder if there's a deeper connection between our mental and emotional well-being
Hmm.
and our physical health.
There definitely seems to be.
Yeah,
It all comes back to that holistic approach,
right.
recognizing that everything's connected.
But this is all just so fascinating.
It is.
It's like we're peeling back the layers of the immune system
Yeah,
and discovering all these intricate connections. I'm
right?
sure there's even more to explore.
Oh, absolutely.
Yeah,
There's always more to learn about this amazing system that protects us every day.
right. It's amazing how much we just kind of take our immune system for granted.
I know, right?
It's constantly working in the background
Yeah,
to protect us from all these things that we don't even know are there.
it's true. And this article really makes you realize we actually have a lot more control over it
Yeah.
than we might think.
It's not just about luck or genetics. Like
Yeah.
our daily choices can really make a huge difference.
Absolutely.
We were talking about the connection between like social connections and having a positive mindset
Yeah,
and a stronger immune system.
yeah.
It's so interesting how our mental and emotional well-being can actually impact our physical health like that.
Yeah, it's really interesting how for years the focus has been on, like, fighting off those external threats.
Right.
But now we're realizing that our internal environment is super important too.
It's like we're shifting from a battle mentality to
Yeah.
one where we're actually nurturing and strengthening our body's own defenses.
Exactly.
Yeah, and that's really empowering
It is.
to know that we can actually participate in that process.
Absolutely.
Okay, so let's go back to some of those specific strategies that we were talking about.
Okay.
We started with food as fuel for the immune system.
Yeah.
Was there anything in that section that really resonated with you?
You know what really stood out to me was the gut immunity connection.
Yeah.
Like, this article really explains how a healthy gut microbiome is, like, crucial
Uh-huh.
for your overall immune function.
Right.
It's not just about digestion.
Yeah.
It's about teaching your immune system, like, what's good and what's bad.
That makes sense. I've heard that like 70% of our immune cells actually live in our gut.
Yeah,
Yeah.
exactly. So it's really important to, like, feed those good bacteria
Right.
with stuff like yogurt and kimchi.
All those fermented foods.
Yeah, fermented vegetables.
Yeah. The article also talked about specific nutrients
Mm-hmm.
that are essential for immune function, like vitamin C,
Mm-hmm.
vitamin D, and zinc.
Yeah.
Is it really that important to like focus on individual nutrients?
Well, each one has its own special role
Okay.
in supporting that immune response.
Mm-hmm.
So, like, vitamin C is involved in making those white blood cells,
Okay.
while vitamin D helps to, like, regulate the immune system
Okay.
and prevent it from, like, overreacting.
So it's like giving them the right tools for the job.
Exactly.
Yeah.
And it's really important to remember that they all work together.
Okay.
So it's not just about getting enough of one or two.
Right.
It's about eating a variety of nutrient-rich foods.
All those colorful fruits and veggies.
Exactly.
Speaking of things we should be mindful of,
Mm-hmm.
the article also talks about how drinking too much alcohol can actually negatively impact our immune system.
It can.
Yeah.
So alcohol can mess with the balance of your gut microbiome.
Okay.
It can impair your immune cells
Mm-hmm.
and just make you more susceptible to infections in general.
So I guess like a glass of wine here and there is probably okay.
Probably.
But we just have to be mindful
Yeah, just be
of
mindful.
overdoing it.
Yeah, moderation is key.
Right. And the same goes for like maintaining a healthy weight.
Absolutely.
As the article pointed out, obesity can lead to chronic inflammation,
Mm-hmm.
which puts a strain on the immune system.
It's like carrying extra baggage that
Yeah.
your immune system has to deal with.
Exactly. So keeping a healthy weight
Yeah,
is not just about how we look,
Okay.
it's about our overall health
absolutely.
and well-being.
It's all connected.
We've covered a lot of things here.
We have,
Diet, hydration,
right?
sleep, exercise, stress management,
Social connection.
social connections.
Yeah.
Is there anything else that we haven't talked about
Mm.
that can impact our immune system that people might not think about?
You know, one thing that often gets overlooked is exposure to nature.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
Okay.
So, like, spending time outside, whether it's going for a walk in the park or gardening or even just sitting into a tree,
Mm-hmm.
can actually have, like, a really big impact.
Mm-hmm. That's interesting. I know being in nature can be very relaxing and stress relieving,
Yeah.
but I never realized that it could like directly impact my immunity.
Yeah. So, like, sunlight helps your body produce vitamin D,
Right.
which we talked about is important for regulating your immune response.
Mm-hmm.
But it goes even further than that.
Okay.
Spending time in nature can actually increase your natural killer cell activity.
What are those?
So those are a type of white blood cell
Okay.
that helps fight infections
Okay.
and even cancer cells.
Wow, so those nature walks are doing double duty.
They are.
Yeah,
It's a good reminder that our health is connected to nature.
I love that. Okay, so we've talked about all these things we can do
Yeah,
to help our immune system,
right.
but is there like one single thing that we can do
Hmm.
that's going to have like the biggest impact?
That's a good question. If I had to pick one thing, I would say prioritize sleep.
Okay.
Yeah.
Sleep is so important.
It's when your body does all of its repair work,
Mm-hmm.
and that includes strengthening those immune defenses.
Right.
So if you're not getting enough sleep,
Yeah.
your immune system is basically compromised,
Right.
and you're more vulnerable to getting sick.
So just creating like a good sleep routine
Yeah,
is one of the some powerful things we can do.
exactly.
What are some tips for getting better sleep?
So having a bedtime routine can be really helpful,
Okay.
like taking a bath or reading a book,
Mm-hmm.
and then also avoiding screens
Right.
and caffeine before bed,
Yeah.
because they can really mess with your sleep cycle.
I've heard that even the temperature of your room can make a difference.
Yeah, a cool, dark, and quiet room is best.
Okay, so sleep is crucial.
Yeah.
Besides that, are there any other choices that are particularly important?
I would say, along with sleep, managing stress is really key.
Okay.
Yeah, because chronic stress can really do a number on your immune system.
Mm-hmm.
So finding healthy ways to deal with that stress,
Mm-hmm.
whether it's meditation or exercise or getting out in nature or doing something you enjoy,
Right.
it's really important for maintaining that strong immune response.
So it's about creating a lifestyle that supports both our physical and mental health.
Exactly.
It's not about being perfect. It's about making healthy choices
Yeah,
a regular part of our routine.
and finding what works for you and
Right.
doing it consistently.
It's amazing how much control we actually have over our health
It is.
when we actually make that effort.
Yeah, it's not about living in fear of germs.
Right.
It's about setting yourself up for success
Yeah.
so that
Yeah.
your body can do what it's supposed to do naturally.
This has been such a great conversation.
It has.
I feel like I've learned so much about my immune system,
Me too.
but I know our listeners are always wanting those practical takeaways.
Yeah.
What is one small change that someone can make today
Hmm.
to start strengthening their immune system?
I would say start with something small
Okay.
that you can actually stick with. So
Mhm.
maybe it's getting an extra hour of sleep each night.
Okay.
Or maybe it's adding more fruits and vegetables to your meals.
Yeah, those are great starting points
Yeah, little changes can make a big difference.
over time. What about you?
Me?
Yeah, what's one thing that you do every day
Oh, gosh.
to support your immune health?
I like to start my day with a smoothie.
Okay.
Yeah, leafy greens, berries, protein powder. And I put some healthy fats in there too, like chia seeds.
Mm.
I feel like it just sets me up for success.
Yeah,
And gives my immune system a boost.
that sounds delicious and healthy.
It is.
I might have to try that.
You should.
Well, on that note, I think we're going to wrap up this deep dive
Okay.
into natural immunity boosters.
Sounds good.
We hope you enjoyed the conversation.
Yeah, it's been a pleasure talking to you.
And to our listeners,
Thank you.
thank you for joining us
Thank you.
on this deep dive into natural immunity boosters.
Mhm.
We hope you learned some valuable things
Yeah,
and are feeling inspired to take charge of your health.
absolutely.
Remember, a strong immune system is a gift that keeps on giving.
It is.
So invest in yourself, make those healthy choices,
Yeah.
and let's all thrive together.
I love that.
It's really amazing when you think about it. We're not just helpless when it comes to our health.
Right.
We can actually do things to help our bodies fight back
Absolutely.
and build up our defenses.
It's not about living in fear
Right.
or hiding from germs.
Yeah.
It's about being healthy overall.
Right.
So your body can take care of itself.
Exactly. It's about giving our immune systems the tools they need to do their job.
Yeah.
So as we're wrapping up this deep dive,
Okay.
what's one small thing our listeners can do today to start strengthening their immune system?
Oh, that's a good question. I think starting with something small
Okay.
that you can actually stick with is key.
Yeah.
So, like, maybe try getting an extra hour of sleep every night.
Okay.
Or add some more fruits and veggies to your meals.
Yeah, those are great. It's about finding the small changes that make a big difference over time.
Exactly.
What about you?
Me.
Yeah. What's one thing you do every day to help your immune system?
Well, I like to start my day with a smoothie.
Okay.
Yeah, leafy greens, berries, protein powder.
Mm-hmm.
Put some healthy fats in there too, like chia seeds or something.
Okay.
I feel like it really gets me going.
Yeah.
And it's good for my immune system.
It sounds delicious and healthy.
It is.
I might have to steal that idea from you.
You should.
Well, on that note, I think we're going to wrap up this deep dive into natural immunity boosters.
Okay?
We hope you enjoyed this conversation as much as we have.
Yeah, me too. It's been great talking to you.
And to all of our listeners out there,
Yes.
thanks for joining us on this journey into natural immunity boosters.
Thank you.
We hope you learned some valuable information today and that you feel empowered to take charge of your own health.
Absolutely.
Remember, a strong immune system is something that will benefit you for years to come.
It really is.
So take care of yourself, make those healthy choices.
Yep.
And we'll see you next time.
Bye. Shisiaku.